Okay, so out here is where I do my medium wave DXing, out here in the wide open spaces, and in that direction is where I usually aim. It's roughly 300 degrees west. So you can see it's good wide open spaces, and in that direction it's towards Sydney, to the north, and as I come around this way towards the west, towards Melbourne in that direction. So my main aim is for Southeast Asia. As you can see out here, etched out of Cooma, nice wide open spaces. My laptop is set up in the back of the car here, which I normally just, if it's really cold or likely to be rainy, then I'll have it set in the back of the car on the folding table. But if the weather's nice, I'll bring it out. One of the big issues when running an SDR is to minimise noise. So I do as much as I can to earth everything, to minimise such noise. And on the hub there, I've got it wrapped in tin foil. You know, like when you put your hand around the cable, it reduces noise. So the tin foil will act like a skin, but just putting that on won't do anything by itself. So I've got to do something with it. So I have that going around to clamp to earth. I can back up here and get my shadow out of the way. So it's earth to a camping peg in the ground, to earth, just so it's doing something to provide some measure of earthing. And I've got a big long 3-metre USB cable which comes around to the SDR there, which I've got in a nice little case, and that of course runs off its own battery, its own power supply, which I use a car adapter that puts out 5 volts, because the Perseus runs at 5 volts. So from the SDR I've got a big long run of coax to act as shielding between receiver, antenna and computer. So the antenna's connected there, but if you notice, the antenna only connects to the centre pin, and it goes to a bell in there, which converts the 500 ohm high impedance long wire into 50 ohms, suitable for the SDR. But because you're only using the centre pin, that means the shielding of the coax is not doing anything. So what I've got to do there is, you see I've got it clamped there, and that goes to another camping peg for earthing. That's for just so that the coax shield is connected and doing something. And of course the bell also has to be earth, so that goes off to another camping peg, a third one, that's clamped to earth. So all the measures that I've got to take in order to minimise interference and noise, you can see the wire runs off in that direction. So up this end of the antenna, there's the termination at the end of the 200 metres. I've got the copper rod, and there is the 470 ohm resistor, which I've got in a little photo canister. One end's got the alligator clip to the antenna, and the other one clips to a bigger clamp there, so I can hook onto that thick copper pipe. So a big clamp there, and so the 200 metres goes way off back down the other end of the paddock towards the car down there. You can barely see it in the viewfinder. There it is. So that's 200 metres back down that way, and up here. I mean, I don't own this land, I have permission to use it, so I only run the long wire along the ground because I've got obviously this setup and this pack up, and I don't want it to take too long, so I've got to take everything when I leave. I can't leave anything behind. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that little demonstration of my setup, and it shows you the lengths you really have to go to receive long distance medium wave. You've got to forego the comforts of home, and you've got to be able to rough it out and about in the wilderness, as they say. So anyway, greetings from Cooma, and thanks for watching.